recording already? And you're, okay, go ahead.
According to the American Civil Liberties Union, 350,000 minors become pregnant each year. Of these 350,000, 82% of pregnancies are unintended. And pregnant minors can choose from many options if they do not wish to have a child. These options include abortion, a medical procedure that is 14 times safer than childbirth. There's 21 states where minors need parental consent to obtain an abortion, and 38 states where there's some form of parental involvement that minors have to go through to access abortion. Minors should not need parental consent to obtain an abortion. Some may argue that minors aren't mature enough to make a decision like this on their own, and even though they're physically mature enough to have children, their brain still isn't developed and they're not mentally mature enough to decide if they're going to have a child. But this is flawed logic, because if they aren't mature enough to decide if they're going to have a child, then they're not mature enough to carry a pregnancy to term and potentially raise a child. Minors also shouldn't need parental consent to access abortion, because parental involvement laws put minors in danger. Studies have shown that minors end up traveling to other states without parental involvement laws, because the laws are state by state, and this provides an undue burden for pregnant minors that wish to terminate their pregnancy, and potential dangers because they're traveling across state lines without their parents knowing. And also, most minors aren't making the decision to have an abortion on their own. It's just not mandated that they do. According to the American Civil Liberties Union, based on a national survey of more than 1,500 unwanted, unmarried minors having abortions in states without parental involvement laws, 61% of young women discussed the decision to have an abortion with at least one of their parents. A majority of teens who didn't talk to a parent talked to another trusted adult. So they're still talking to adults, and there's other things contributing to their opinion, so they're not completely making the choice to on their own. Also, according to ACLU, 22% of teens who did not tell a parent about their abortion decision feared that if they told their parents, they would be kicked out of the house. More than 8% feared that they would be physically abused because their parents had beaten them before. 12% did not live with either parent, and 14% have parents who abuse drugs or alcohol. So the people who didn't tell their parents in that study, 39% that didn't tell their parents because of good reasons. And there was a girl in Colorado whose mom kicked her out of the house when she was forced to tell her that she was pregnant when she had to ask for consent to get an abortion, and she ended up living in a car at the time of her abortion. And when making laws around parental involvement in minors' reproductive health care, it's important for lawmakers to consider people with terrible circumstances instead of assuming that everyone will have supportive and loving families, because it's just a sad truth that they don't. And these laws also don't work. There have been studies that show that minors end up, it doesn't decrease the number of minors getting abortions when they pass laws like that. And even though in the states where they have these parental involvement laws, minors are prevented from getting abortions, they do end up going to other states. And the Journal of Policy and Analysis and Management has showed that the number of minor abortions in states with involvement laws does decrease, but the number of minors getting abortions who are from those states doesn't decrease. And the last reason that these laws should not be in place is that they are part of a broader pro-life agenda, And it's no coincidence that the same people that support the parental involvement laws are the same people who are against abortion in general. And they want abortion to be, like, they gradually make it more and more restrictive to prevent people from being able to get abortions and, like, to decrease the number of abortions in general. And they, like, mask this, like, intention with a pseudo cause of like encouraging, like, family communication and protecting minors from the so-called dangers of abortion. However, like, this is not the case because minors end up using unsafe abortion to terminate their pregnancy if they're not allowed to, like, get one. And according to a 2008 World Health Organization study, 1 in 8 maternal deaths were due to unsafe abortion. So, like, it's a big issue. And also the New Jersey Supreme Court case Planned Parenthood versus Farmer ruled that laws cannot transform a household with poor lines of communication into a paradigm of the perfect American family. So it's like the pro-life advocates are kind of encouraging communication by, or they're saying that they are, but they're really just trying to make abortions as difficult as possible to obtain. And it's clear that abortion should be up to whoever's pregnant, and it's unfair to prioritize a potential life over the well-being of an already existing life.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.